Hi, this is the C Squared podcast with Cori and Curtis. Today we are here with Herr Nox. We are going to be discussing all sorts of fun music-related things, as well as me doing my best to not let them trick me into embarrassing myself. So let's get going.
So I'm going to give him a good introduction. This is Satan himself, the French
lavish Satan. Get it right, lavish Satan.
The French lavish Satan, the man who is the gothic French, French Canadian superstar. I don't know what else we can call you. So, anyways, this is Herr Nox. So, how you doing, Mr. Nox?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Excellent.
How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic. At least I am.
I'm always great.
Cool. So for a starter, can you kind of say about, who you are, what you do, that type of thing, like a brief origin story of who you are?
Well, what can I say? I've been a big music fan since my childhood. So, I don't know. One day I tried to just make my own music on my computer in my parents' basement, and try to do stuff, and that's where it started. And then I joined a band in Quebec from my hometown, and then I started my own solo project, and that's basically how it started.
Cool. Okay, so you've been primarily, like, in the past, you were more black metal focused, is that correct?
Well, I was a big black metal fan. That was like maybe my top metal genre that I was a big fan of, and then I kind of went sideways and tried to explore different types of music. So I went, into like experimental stuff, but like the kind of gateway drug that was for going into different styles was a black metal band, actually, like Ulver, which is from Norway, and they went into a really electronic and a really experimental phase that I really liked. I really enjoyed that band, so it kind of opened the door for me to explore all different kinds of music.
It's actually kind of neat because I can kind of see that, because Ulver did go from black metal to like more gothic at times / electronic / different arty type stuff. So that's actually kind of neat. So I want to ask a first question before Cori does. And the first question is, I want to talk about collaborations. So you had you had a member of The Shining on your album, your recent album, and then you had Lindsay on the album as well. How does one approach these big names to be on your album?
Well, quite frankly, I don't really know how to do it. So I just go on Facebook and ask them, and that's really that simple.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I just for Lindsay, I knew her from for over a decade, so it was kind of easy to approach her for this. But I tried to for the first album, I was trying to do my best to maybe learn the craft a little bit, because that first album I learned about mixing and producing, and just basically to mix and produce my own music, and to do my own stuff, to do everything myself, because when you're in a solo artist, you don't have you can't afford what a band can afford, because you don't have I cannot split the expenses between 5 members. I have to pay everything for myself, so I had to do choices. I had to make choices, so I learned how to produce, to mix, and to record, and so that's how it came about. So I wanted to the first album was like laying the grounds for what I could achieve. And then with this new album, I felt like I was ready to, ask for more collabs. And that's why I went to Lindsay, because, she's been a friend for so long, and I wanted her to be on my album. And that's basically the same thing for Jürgen Munkeby from Shining, because I was a big fan of Shining, which is also a more experimental band. they mix like black metal and jazz and all that stuff, maybe a little bit of industrial. So and his saxophone playing is just amazing, and I really wanted to have him on my album. And he was like my top choice of artists that I would like to collab with one day, and it happened. I mean, I just went on Facebook and sent him a message and said, "Hey, would you be interested in participating on that album? Play on a few songs." And he said, "Yeah, sure. Send me the songs." And I sent him, and that's how it goes. So in real life, I'm like really quiet, really shy, and but when I don't really know how to socially interact. So I just like, hey, you, a stranger, would you like to be part of that? And if yes, cool, and if no, well, no problem. I'll just accept it. I just go without really expectation. I just like throw myself in there, and let's see how it goes.
I love it. So Cori, you should have some questions.
Oh yeah, I definitely do. And mine are actually a completely different topic from yours. I was actually wanting to talk to you about, the image that you've created and this persona that you have, at least on social media and everything. And do you think that it's important to have, a unique image or some kind of a unique persona for your social media presence? And then also at the same time, letting your, I guess, home persona or whatever you want to call it shine through, because you let a lot of your sense of humor shine through, at least on Twitter with me, with our GIFs and our movie quotes. So do you think it's important to have that stage persona, but also let the regular you shine through too?
Well, I guess it's more like the persona that I have on social media is more like an extension of my real self. It's like, maybe, I don't know how to say this. Maybe it's like me, what I would like to be like in real life, because I'm kind of more shy and more quiet and timid. And so, but on social media, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just easier to express myself and play along with people and just be kind of a funny guy. But I think it's important to maybe, and I don't know, I've never really thought about this. So I'm just, it's just how, it's not even, I never really thought about trying to find a persona to present myself online. It's just like who I am. And the character of Herr Nox is not really a character per se. It's more like the artist in me that's coming out. It's more like the expression of my music and the art form that I try to make, because to me music is not, it's not really just music. It's not solely music. It's more like a big ensemble of things. You have the music, the artwork, the videos, and all that stuff is like a big melting pot of stuff. And like I said, I try to do like everything myself. So I do the artwork, I do my own videos, my own music videos, and I do basically all you see, all that's coming out online of me is basically something that I did. So I cannot have a more personal project than this. So it's really like not really a persona, but more of an expression of the artist that I am, that I cannot really be in real life. You can't. Sometimes I go with. I used to more when I was maybe more into black metal or all that stuff. I would like dress up and go outside and go to the mall and dress like a big goth kid. But
I think we all did that at one point.
yeah. But right now it's more like maybe more tame. But I'm still myself, and it's still the expression of who I am, and that's I don't know what else to say.
No, you're totally making sense. And you've said a couple of times that you're pretty shy, and that's actually something that I struggle with myself, and I try to hide it really, really well, but it's, oh, shut up, Curtis. I definitely do struggle with being shy. So for people who are just trying to push past that barrier of their own shyness, do you have any like tips or advice for just doing it, or do you just dive in and go for it and hope for the best, or is there, you know, a way to like hype yourself up to push past that, you know, personal barrier of your own shyness?
Mhm. Well, there's kind of, I mean, when I was younger, I was pretty much, you know, I'll just sit at my, I mean, in school, I'll just sit at my desk, and if people approach me, because I won't be going forward to people, so I just let people come. And I mean, I told myself that if they make the effort to try to talk to me, then they're probably cool people, because not because they want to talk to me, but because I mean they make the effort to go to other people. So I told myself that maybe they you know they found something that they wanted to know more about me, and that's, I mean, so that's kind of a I don't know how to say this, but that's one aspect. But at one point when I started my previous band in Quebec, you know, when we did our first gig, I was super stressed out because I never done a live show before. So but I mean, I just pushed through it, and I it was like I don't have a choice. I really need to do this because it's kind of my dream to you know, to do a music. And so I don't have a choice. It's like you know, you do this or you die, you know. It's like you do or die. So I did that show, even it was super nerve-wracking. But after the gig I was like, man, can we do another one like right now, because you just get such a high when you do live shows, that it's really cool. So yeah, curious,
That
like, did you want
adrenaline
to
rush. Yeah.
yeah.
So what I was going to say, I wanted to interrupt here. So now this was kind of the same thing like when I got you to do interviews, because you were like at first, fuck you, I'm not doing interviews. So, but now you're on, I think this is interview number 4, I think we've done. And you seem like you're fine. So you're kind of putting it there as being like, do or die, I have to get this done, fuck my emotions type of thing, correct?
Yeah.
So can you kind of explain a little bit?
Yeah, because I know, well, it's like the I don't know how to say this, but it's like it's kind of a routine. So I'm just like, I'm used to something, and I really when I become comfortable in something, and someone comes with something new, I'll just like get startled for a little bit, and I you know, I need some time to process the change, I guess. So when you told me, oh, I have a video interview for you, so I was like, oh my God, can we not do that? Can I just like answer on the you know, can it be a written interview, something like this? Because and then you were like, but I mean, you're good to like not push people to do things they don't want to do, but to you know, boost the confidence of people.
Yeah.
And so they turn out to all right, I'll do this. And then I don't know, it's but once I did the interview, and it went well. I mean, if it had been a train wreck, I mean, probably I would be like, you know, I don't want to ever do that again. But it went like really, it was really cool, and I really enjoyed that. So and I saw that I could do it. And I mean, it's really a big thing with artists. We are all like, we have a lot of self-doubts, and we don't know what are our capacities, and what we can achieve and what we can't achieve. So and that's really something that we struggle with. But with time, I guess we you know, once we break a barrier, we kind of try to do something else. And it's just it's like it snowballs. And I mean, we kind of discover ourselves in the public eye, if you know what I mean. It's like we don't really know what we can achieve, but then we kind of push through, and we but it all happens before the eyes of people. So I mean, we release music. We don't know if it's good. We're just like, well, I did that song. I did that album, and I don't know how it. I mean, is it a good album? Is it not? I don't know. So we just push. We just throw that in the universe, and you know, and that's the other people who are telling us if it's good or not. I mean, we can be proud of what we have achieved, but we don't really know for sure until people outside of ourselves gives us some kind of feedback. So
Totally.
I mean, yeah.
Totally. Okay. So I have a controversial theory. I'm going to say to both of you too. So here's my controversial theory that's taking off on kind of what you said. I have this theory, and I'm sort of joking, but I'm sort of not joking at the same time, that most artists are actually, I mean, they're basically kind of like a god because they're creating a universe of something of their own, right? And to me, it's kind of like that self-doubt or whatever is just kind of like you presenting your godly creation to other people. But in reality, I mean, like, do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, I'm not saying like you're a supreme being or anything like that, but do you guys get what I'm saying?
Well,
I think I do, but kind of.
I understand I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I really don't view myself as a god or as a godly, you know, being who's creating something. But it's more like we see all the other artists out there, and we're like, those are gods creating stuff. But am I worthy of creating stuff also? You know, so it's kind of. We don't see ourselves as the supreme being, but we see the other artists as a supreme being.
There you go. So you get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying, Cory? I want to hear your
definitely, because, well, at least from like, you know, music, and you've seen my bookcase in our live yesterday. Creating whole new universes is what artists do. I mean, every song has a story and creates a whole new world. Aladdin reference right there.
Good one. So back to what we're kind of talking about here. I don't want to get too into the religious type, metaphysical type thing or anything like that. But I mean, I do kind of think that at the same time, because you're creating a whole thing yourself, right, out of nothing, and making an artistic expression. So let's kind of go back into your image a little bit. So to me, it's kind of like you have almost like the old school Marilyn Manson type thing. I know we don't want to go with Marilyn Manson. But you know you guys know what I'm talking about. The old school Nine Inch Nails type image. Is that kind of correct? That those are kind of like the people that you kind of took the ideas from, or is it somewhere else?
Well, really, it's more of the old school goth, like I mean, Christian Death or Ross Williams, because I mean, you know, I don't want to shit on Manson, but you know, he's not like
we don't
really,
go there.
But I mean, he took a lot of ideas from other people, you know. And if you see old pictures of Ross Williams, who was the leader of a Christian Death, he pretty much took the old look from him. And I mean, if you look at Mechanical Animals, it's like the Ziggy Stardust thing that he used. So I mean, he borrowed a lot from other people, but I mean, as far as myself, I don't really know. It's like the dark stuff. I mean, I don't know where really that all came from, because I'm a big fan of Nine Inch Nails. I'm a big fan of old school goth, like Sisters of Mercy and Susie and the Banshees, and you know, all that stuff, and The Cure, obviously. So that's pretty much where it came from, and I try to mold it to my own personality, if you will, because you know, I used to dye my hair black, but now I let it like my natural, like blonde or something. So it's like, I mean, I with the years and the experience, I just try to merge like my real self with and the extension of like what I said before, the of my artistic self. So it's like two personas that I kind of merge together. So I don't really know as far as artists where I got like the look or the image, but I mean, I'm a big fan of David Lynch, so that's really where I took I mean, the dreamy, nightmarish visions and all that stuff. It's pretty much from him that I borrowed it. So and like many artists, I mean, David Bowie is like probably one of my favorite artists that ever was. So that's where I got I mean, the lavish and then the extravagance and
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Cori, you want to go next?
You've actually asked a bunch of the questions I had written down, as you always do.
Sorry.
You're terrible at it.
Sorry.
So I've actually run out of stuff to ask because you stole all my questions.
I got lots of questions.
Okay.
So number one.
If something pops into my head, I will interrupt you because you stole my questions and you deserve to be interrupted.
Sorry. So, okay. So can you tell us the correct way to say Tabernac, number one?
Oh my God.
We're going to talk. You wanted me to hear me like say it in real Quebecois?
Yeah, in real Quebecois. Let's hear it.
Tabernac.
Tabernac. Okay, so can you explain to Cori why is this like considered to be the swear of all swears in Quebec, or is that a myth?
Well, it's not really a myth. I mean, everyone uses Tabernac, and I'm trying to say it with the English accent instead of saying it in Quebecois. I don't know why.
Quebecois.
Yeah, so Tabernac is really the prime French Canadian swear word, because the church had a lot of impact, and they had the power to and they controlled a lot of they used to control everything in Quebec back in the I mean as far or as early as the 1960s. So there was a kind of some kind of revolution in the 60s that's called the Tranquil Revolution, because it was like a slow progress, but there was a revolution back in those years to cut the church from the power and the government, because the government and the church were like pretty much really tied together. I don't know how to say this. Yeah. So so everything that's related to church and to all the furniture are all swear words in Quebecois. So I mean, the tabernacle is tabernac, and I mean the hosts are esti or asti. So I mean, so all those words are what we use, and some of those words were kind of they changed a little bit from the real pronunciation, because it was a sin to say those words. So we instead of tabernacle, we say tabernac. So tabernac. So we just like kind of cheated, so we could use those words to swear. So that's pretty much the story of our swear words.
Okay. Do you have any swear word questions, Cori, before I go on to round two?
Nope, I'm good. I'm gonna avoid letting you two like trick me into embarrassing myself. So
okay,
because you warned me that you're gonna do that, so I don't trust any of this right now.
Okay, well let's just talk for a second, just briefly. Gaia Gorda, you know Gaia, right?
Mm-hmm,
okay,
yeah.
Herr Nox, sorry, not Herr. So with Gaia, she had an interview where she talked about Poutine. So can you please, I'm assuming you've been outside of Quebec, correct? You've gone to Ontario. Yep. So can you kind of explain the difference between real Quebecois poutine versus the rest of the poutine and the poutine in the rest of the country?
Well, it's more, well, there's like the two key ingredients are the cheese and the sauce. And yep. We have a special sauce that it's really a poutine sauce. And we have a special cheese that is used for the poutine, which is cheese curds, which make funny squeak sounds, when you chew it, because it's like really fresh cheese. So So that's basically like the two key ingredients. But when you go outside of Quebec, you're kind of improvising, or I don't know, they're kind of winging it with some gravy sauce and shredded cheese, which is really not the appropriate way to do it. So
So, okay, so is it really as terrible as we've been told outside of Quebec? Like, is it really that bad?
well, to be honest, I never tried poutine outside of Quebec,
Okay, fair.
so
fair.
I cannot say. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, okay, so what do you think would be like the to because Corey's American, she doesn't understand, obviously. So what do you think the key difference between French Canada and the rest of Canada, out of curiosity?
Well, honestly, people like to make a big deal out of it, but I don't think we're like so much apart from each other, because I mean, we kind of had we have a bit. Well, I mean, English Canadians are a more. I don't know if they're more. Well, there's like that big stereotype that you're all like super respectful and and you say sorry a lot and.
I'm not, but yeah.
No,
So
Curtis does
I
not
mean,
fit the stereotype.
Mhm. So, but I mean, maybe English Canadians are said to be more like reserved, and French Canadians are more outgoing and they're like more about let's party and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's probably the big difference because. But apart from that, I don't see us really be that much different because I mean we've had English Canadian in Quebec for so many years, and after the France after France kind of I don't know what's the English word for that, but they surrendered for before the British. So I mean we kind of grew as people with the British with us. So I mean, we maybe have some basic differences, but I don't see us really all that much really super different because I mean, after centuries of living together, we kind of merged into one another, I guess.
Yeah, we became one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have kind of a random question, actually, seeing since we're on the whole subject of French and Canada and stuff. Why did you choose a German word for part of your name? I am so curious about that because unlike Curtis, I actually realized that it's a German word.
Well, I did it later. I did later.
But I knew it right away.
I wasn't, but you're in English. So anyways.
No, I actually took German in college too, so I
English
speak a little bit.
Is an English word and what is not an English word, unlike me. Go ahead.
So yeah, why a German word for your name?
Well, it was kind of I wanted to pay homage to the German goth scene because that's really where it's pretty much the mecca of goth is in Berlin. So and in Germany. So I mean, out of I don't know, well, the how many goth festivals there are in the world, but the three major ones are in Germany. So I mean, they're like that's where it's really a big things, and they have goth bars, they have goth festivals, they have basically got everything, and you can see a lot of goth people roaming in the streets. So it's like it's part of the gothic culture, and that's pretty much like I said, it was like paying homage a bit to the goth culture by using some German expression in my name. Yeah.
They definitely do have a strong goth culture over there. It's goth and metal both.
Yeah.
I want to follow up one thing with just the character. So do you ever kind of like tell people that you actually have a real name and that you're not like this gothic dude that just is addressed as Mr. Knight? Or do you kind of like just stay with the persona?
Well, obviously, I never really approach people with my real name. I guess if it comes, people usually when they approach me, they, 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 they'll just call me Herr Nox, and that's fine with me. And eventually they might want to know more and what's my real name, but I don't go to them to be like, yeah, by the way, my real name is, I just, I mean, if they want to know, I'll tell them, but I mean, it's not my priority to introduce myself with my real name on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering, because I was just wondering if fans do that with you, if you ever talk to them online or something like that. So we're starting to run out of time. We've got about 5 minutes left, I think. Yep. So just to wrap a few things up here, can you kind of say like what your experience has been releasing this last album? Like, has it exceeded your expectations? Has it underperformed? Like, can you kind of go over what your experience has been to date?
Really, to be honest, it has been really great. I mean, compared to my first album, which, well, I mean, my first album was great because it really got nice reviews, and I was like, it was really overwhelming because it was my first album, my first experience as a kind of a music producer and all that stuff. So, and it went super well. So I was really happy with that. But this album, Where Shadows Fade, I mean, my expectations, I was like hoping it would be just as good as my first album, and kind of blew it all away. I mean, and I can say that that like most of it is probably because of Curtis, because I mean, he helped me a lot. Okay. So,
well, I did not, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, and what can I say? Yeah, it has been really great. I mean, the first review that I mean, I sent my album to a couple of people, and my first review was not good. Actually, was like, I think it was like 5 out of 10, and that was before my album release. So I was like, oh my God, what the hell? People won't like this. And I spent like 3 years working on that, and it's the worst thing. So, but then all the other reviews started coming in, and they were like all super positive, and I like, you know, a 9 out of 10 and stuff like that. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was so really happy, and really the kind of the coverage and the attention that the album is getting is really amazing. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turning out.
Cool. I want to toot Cori's horn because Cori actually picked it up from Metal Injection. I want to point out one of the major publications that did. So she tooted your horn pretty damn hard there. So thank you, Cori.
And that's one of the ones where I wrote about it and didn't tell you.
Yeah, we just found out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it's just, I tend to do that. I publish things and then it just.
But I want to point out that because of that article, you are now podcasting with me because we started talking more after that. So it worked out good, I think.
That is the article that did make it happen.
It is the article that made it happen. Now, whether for good or for bad is yet to be judged. But yeah. So okay, so Herr Nox. So a couple more things before we end off here. So can you kind of also say, like we talked about this briefly online, but can you kind of say why you didn't do a CD version but only a vinyl version of your album?
Well, like I said before, I had to make choices because I mean, I'm the only guy paying for everything. So I could only afford like the vinyl production of the vinyl pressing, and so. And to me, vinyl is like the ultimate experience to listen to an album. You know, like I said in previous interviews, on you know, you kind of forced to listen to the album as a whole when you're listening on vinyl. So, and it's, I mean, to me, it's like the premium experience to be listening to music. And so I had to make choices, and I mean, CDs are really not such a thing anymore, I think. Vinyls are outselling CDs. So, and to me, it's like CDs are like cool, but there's like they're more like a tiny vinyl. I mean, you can kind of like can carry them around, and there's more portability. But I mean, if I want portability, I'll just listen on Spotify or Bandcamp or something like that. So if I want a physical version of an album, I'll use the vinyl. So to me, vinyl is like, it's like the optimal physical media, and then you can listen on digital if you want to really have it with you if you're going out or something like that. So vinyl was really my top priority.
And I think it also definitely fits your whole aesthetic really well, because you're bringing in a lot of the sounds from like the past with the synths and everything like that. So the vinyl really, it fits your whole persona, your image, and it fits your music really, really well.
Yeah,
like
and
I wouldn't have bought a CD if I had the option either. So
yeah, and the vinyl I think makes it more exciting for the artist to produce, because I don't know, when you receive that huge ass jacket with the vinyl, and it can become like some kind of work of art too, because I mean, you can choose the color, and they're all pretty much unique, because I mean, even if you pick a weird like splatter design or something for your vinyl, there won't be like two that will be alike there. Yeah, so it's really more like a unique piece of collection that's really cool to have.
I have one more question, actually. So, because this is just an aside, but I'm kind of surprised the both of you guys are that much into vinyl, because you're not that much further away from age as I am. Like, I mean, I know you're 38, you're 32, but I mean, I'm not a vinyl guy, and I'm like, but you guys are both like, yes, vinyl. But I grew up on CD and tape, so I mean, what like, I get the appeal, but I kind of, when did you start? Like, when did you start collecting vinyl? Have you always been into vinyl, or is it just recently?
That's recently. It's fairly recent. It was with my first album. I decided to go all vinyl, and previously, I when I released my first EP, it was only like a collector edition on a small EP on CD. But for my first album, I went like, all right, I'm going vinyl. But I kind of discovered it on the late, and really it was. I bought myself a cheap turntable first, and so I released my album on vinyl, put it on there, and it was like the experience that I had. It was like eye-opening. I mean, I was like, I'm listening to a full album like I used to do when I was a kid, because I don't know if it's the ADHD or the society we're in, where everything goes so fast that you can't really concentrate on something for more than 5 minutes. So and listening to an album vinyl, like I said, you're kind of forced to be in front of your turntable to listen to the album. So you have to it's more like deep listening. So you can't I mean, you can be on your phone while you listen to the album, but I mean, you have to be there, you have to stay there and to be focused. So it brought me back to my early years, like listening, because I grew up also on CDs and cassettes, and but I mean, vinyl. Once I discovered the vinyls, I mean, it became like a drug, and I just couldn't get enough. I just bought vinyls, and I mean, I became that's how it came about. Yeah.
Cool. Cori, what's your final thoughts on it? Because I know you're also a vinyl junkie addict, posting you're buying $200 worth of vinyl.
Yeah, that was a day yesterday. Well, I personally appreciate the artwork behind all of it. They're so much bigger, so you can fit a lot of really beautiful artwork in there. I love that even if you're picking something that's a solid color, there's still going to be variation between each and every one of them. And I mean, I grew up on CD mostly with very minimal cassette. But I got my first exposure to vinyl after my grandmother passed away, and we were cleaning out her attic, and I found all my mom's vinyl from when she was in high school. And so I just started like digging through all of her stuff, and I loved the way that they sounded. And now I just really appreciate all of the artwork, and they're just beautiful to me. So
cool. So it's more like an art thing for the both of you guys, more than like a full experience. That's kind of neat. Okay, so I should probably wrap this up. Herr Nox, do you have anything final you want to say, like promoting your new album, maybe?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can go and buy my album on Bandcamp. That's really where it's I mean, if you want the vinyl version, the only way to get it is on Bandcamp. And if you want to listen to the album on digital, but you can get it everywhere. So that's pretty much it. And I mean, yeah, you can like go check out my album, but you can also check out all other independent artists out there, because I mean, in those days, a lot of people struggling. So if you can like maybe help an artist and just buy an album, I mean, it can make like a whole world of difference to them. So I mean, just support independent artists. Yeah,
I agree. And then one final thing I just want to say is I do believe you autograph your vinyls when you send them out, correct?
yeah, they're end numbered and autographed too. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, well, I guess we're going to wrap up. Party on, Cori.
Party on, Curtis. Party on, Herr Nox.
Party on, both of you.